What is going on, everyone? It is Colin Neal here for Houston SportsTalk Pod. Number 92 comes your way right here. And right now, it is draft day. Just a lot of stuff going on in the sports world, but that's not going to stop us from giving you all the Bearcat talk. If you haven't already, be sure you subscribe today. Follow us on all of our social media outlets. Links are in the description. If you're looking for an audio form of the podcast, it is available as well on Spotify. Not really going to dive too much into what happened this past week. It's been a very busy week for me adjusting to a new work schedule, but hey, at least I'm coming into this one with a lot of positivity, to say the least. Softball taking care of a road series against Louisiana Tech, baseball taking care of business in like more ways than one in New Mexico State, and then beating Baylor this past Tuesday, and a bunch of other stuff as well. But we're just gonna go ahead and stick to the stick to softball and baseball. And right before we start recording, a Bearcat is getting called up to the majors. We'll get to that in just a few minutes. But first things first, Sam Houston baseball backs against the wall. I told y'all this last week. This At the time of that recording, that the next 2 weeks are going to be big. The series against New Mexico State and Middle Tennessee. And the week last week did not start off pretty hot, blowing a late lead to UTRGV and losing a close one to Rice on the road, which I didn't mind that result, but you needed to at least win one of those games to get things going. At least I felt like at the time, heading into Las Cruces, New Mexico against the Aggies, where this is an Aggie team that was top 50 in the country in runs per game. The pitching was a little interesting, but on the road at New Mexico State in Las Cruces, it's hard to beat this. It's gonna be hard to beat the Aggies, especially with the crazy conditions that they were in. But you know what, Sam Houston, they swept the Aggies 8-7 Friday, 4-3 on Saturday, and then a shootout 12-10 Saturday. And in all those games, New Mexico State was propping a comeback, but the Cats would stop them at their tracks. They take a big series sweep on the road. This allows the Bearcats to have a tiebreaker now over New Mexico State and put New Mexico State in a bit of a hole when it comes to the, trying to fight and get into that Conference USA tournament. Again, top 9 teams. I believe Sam Houston via tiebreakers is either 8, 7, 8, or 9, whichever one. They should be in by all means. And they played Tuesday night against the Baylor Bears, and they defeated Baylor 7-5. Baylor was top 50 in net and RPI for pair ratings and Warren Nolan heading into that game. So that's a very big win there for the Bearcats, taking down the Bears, who beat them earlier in the season pretty handily. Zach Johnson and Jay Sirianni talked to Huntsville Item sports editor Colton Foster after the game. The audio sounds a little weird. I think it had something to do with my editing. I don't know what happened, but I don't have time to go back and fix it. So this is what you're going to have to deal with, unfortunately. But here was head coach Jay Sirianni after the Bearcats got the win against Baylor on Tuesday. It kind of talks a little bit about like over the past couple weeks as well, in a way.
String four wins in a row now just to get a big win over Baylor. How much confidence does this give a team that was kind of, down on its luck?
Well, we've been down on our luck, but we never quit competing or getting better or working at it. And that's where you got to be proud of these guys. They came in every day being the same team. Yeah, we had some rough luck and ran into some pretty good teams, but, it kept coming and kept playing hard.
What did you see from Brandon there in that leadoff spot? Able to go, I think, home run first and then draw a couple walks.
Well, the thing is like the guys at the bottom, Jason, those guys have done a good job of getting on, and so really, Franny's just a leadoff to start the game. After that, he's kind of in his normal spot, but he's done a good job. He's got a slow heart rate, and he's patient, so he's going to see some pitches. I mean, obviously, tonight hit a jack on whatever pitch that was, but that was big to get us off to a good start.
Zach seems to be taking over this closer role for this team. What have you seen from him that, gives you the confidence to put him out there, 3 out of 5 nights?
he's not shy of the strike zone. He's going to assault the strike zone, not afraid of contact. Yeah, he's got decent stuff. But there's something to be said about just a senior with a boatload of experience that's been through the grinder, that you know what you're going to get. Proud of him. He's doing a good job.
Middle Tennessee comes to town. It's a big series for y'all, kind of that middle ground of the standings. Just, how do you bottle this up to, maintain it as you look forward to another CUSA series?
Well, first I told him don't even come by tomorrow. Tomorrow's an off day. Get away from it. Turn your brain off, and then we'll come in, Thursday, have a good team workout, and then just keep playing well. We're going to focus on us a lot more than we do opponents.
That was head coach Jay Sirianni with Colton Foster after the win against Baylor. He talked a lot about talked a little bit about Frandon, and Frandon in that leadoff spot has been amazing. Y'all saw the stats I put out on Sam Houston Sports Talk Twitter/X account. If you haven't already, be sure you go and follow that account. Greatly appreciate it. But Frandon in that leadoff spot has been amazing. In that series sweep against New Mexico State, 429 batting average, 571 on base percentage, 1214 OPS, 4 runs batted in, 5 runs scored, 1 homer, 2 walks, no strikeouts. And hey, he was also big in the hot corner. The defense at times, and Zach Johnson, who you're going to hear from in just a minute, he talked about that defense. Hey, listen, that losing streak was tough. It is what it is. You can't do anything about it except how are you going to respond to it? And now they've responded right now with a 4-game winning streak with a good amount of momentum heading into the late April and then heading into May, where you're going to need to be playing your best baseball. And I'm not going to sit here, though, and tell you and say I'm on my victory lap right now that I was right or anything. The season's not over yet. Things can just switch really quickly. We'll get into Middle Tennessee matchup in just a minute. But now I want y'all to hear from Zach Johnson, who struggled a bit before this past weekend, but he has now come in and he got the save on Friday, got the save on Tuesday, closed it out on Sunday against New Mexico State. Here, I don't know if he got the save or not, but either way, here is Sam Houston closer, relief pitcher, Zach Johnson with Colton Foster.
You seem to be taking over this closer role for this team. What's that been like for you over these last couple of weeks, and really, this past weekend at New Mexico State and now tonight?
It's been fun. It's great seeing our hitters go out there, take the lead, and all I can do is just go out there and try to keep it, and just have the defense behind me make all the plays. They were great in New Mexico. They made so many great plays for me.
You get those 2 punch outs there, and then Baylor gets that big hit. Just, what was going through your mind knowing you needed to get that last out with a tying run at the plate?
I didn't think too much of it. I mean, I know guys are going to hit the ball, but I'm just going to do whatever I can, throw wherever they tell me. That's really all I think about it there.
You've been kind of the mainstay on this team. What's one of the things you've noticed is kind of the biggest difference from last year to this year?
The guys are great. The team is bond's so good, and everyone comes out here and works hard every day. And coaches are doing such a great job. It's just guys are just finding their motion, finding a good in step better this year.
As a pitching staff, what's it been like these last couple of games to see the offense be able to string along some hits and put up some runs on the board?
We've known that they can do it this whole time. They've been getting so many good barrels every game, and just stuff wouldn't fall their way. And seeing them get the clutch hits and the barrels falling with ones that they've been hitting is great. Great to see. All the hard work they've been doing is paying off.
That was Zach Johnson with Colton Foster. And, the pitching has taken a bit of a downward slope, and I'll happily give them grace though for New Mexico State, because the conditions for pitching in that series was crazy. But hey, as long as they're finding some guys now, all of a sudden, Connor Mundy was tremendous in that 3-inning save on Saturday that clinched the series for the Bearcats, getting a couple of strikeouts as well. Tyler Ryden was amazing. A quality start on the road in Mexico State. Ryan Peterson he had a bit of had probably his roughest outing, but I'm fully confident he can bounce back. Tate Hickman coming off of a career outing against DBU, couldn't really get it done on the same way on Sunday. Aloisio was able to hold it down. The offense was able to help out the pitching whenever they needed it. Jared Curtis making a great catch. A lot of controversy in that series. That umpiring crew was not the best, to say the least. Not really good for both sides, but thankfully for us, Sam Houston got a lot of the calls to go their way. Nathan Fink with a couple of homers. If he can get going, that'll be huge. The one guy offensively that has slowed down, it has been Hunter Alvord, but he has been keeping it up decently on the defensive end. So as long as he's getting it done on the defensive end, it would be. I am very curious to see how his bat continues to progress as we head into May. Now it's time to look really quickly at the series against Middle Tennessee. Gonna move myself over here if you see me on the YouTube channel. There we go. And New Mexico State coming in to this one 21-20. They have a 52.9% chance of taking this series over the Bearcats. At the Dawn, 47.1% for Sam Houston to take the series. Yeah, and I believe I said on the last pod that they needed to at least sweep one of the two series, either New Mexico State or Middle Tennessee. They got the sweep out of the way. Now, if they win this series, they just take 2 games. I'm totally fine. If they want to go ahead and take 1 game or take 2 games to just give Middle Tennessee one, then whatever, it is what it is. You don't want to be too greedy with sweeps. You're so focused to be winning Friday night, setting yourself up for Saturday to win the series right there, and then so that way you don't have to worry about going for the series on Sunday, and that way you can just try to go for the sweep on Sunday. So first things first, win Friday night, and then we'll see what Friday night has in store. We'll go from there. I do expect Ryan Peterson to have a bounce back outing. Looking at the numbers, this is via pair ratings, by the way. I highly recommend go checking out that website, Baseball Analytics. It is really cool. I really love what this website has done. Not a paid sponsorship, but you see the red on the bottom right with the offense that is not good. The pitching is a little blue, it's okay. It's above average, but you can see a lot of blue on the left side for Middle Tennessee when it comes to their offense and their pitching. They are 67th in the country, according to this, in ERA. They leave runners on base at a very high rate. Really, the one thing that I mean, they swept Delaware this past weekend. They are above Sam Houston in the standings by a game. So this is going to be big. If Sam Houston can take this series, it will set them up to have an easy road to be in the Conference USA tournament, because they have tiebreakers over a lot of teams that are below them currently in the standings. But don't take Middle Tennessee lightly. They are kind of in the same boat, if you think about it, as the Bearcats are. So we'll see what happens. I won't be there for Friday or Saturday, but I will be there for Sunday to see. Hopefully Sam Houston has already clinched the series by that time on Sunday. But if the bats continue to improve, that's one key thing about this team, is that they are improving. They are getting better every single time they go out and step on the baseball diamond. And that is what you want to see, is that a team gets better every time they go back out there. And there's still a chance, by the way, that they can finish 500 after not looking like it was going to be close at all to winning 50% of the regular season games. And it's still a possibility on the table. But like I said, first things first, Friday night against Middle Tennessee. That's the first step to, just to get to first. But you can't deny that the Bearcats are showing signs that they could be turning this ship around, and not just around to the right direction, but at the right time. Late April, heading into May. All right, let's step aside. We'll talk some softball. They couldn't play against Houston on Tuesday, but they prepare for their final road series against FIU. Where are they at? How are they looking? And could this one thing be what determines how deep they go into the Conference USA tournament that they are bound to be making, based on record and just how things are going? I'll tell you what I mean next here on Sam Houston Sports Talk. All right, so Bearcats softball, they are winding down their season. They are preparing. I'm pretty sure they've already head out. I mean, I can already ugh. I can safely assume that they're already heading on over to the 305 Miami, Florida, take on the Panthers. They sit behind the Bearcats a few spots on the Conference USA standings. They were supposed to play Bearcats, against the Cougars of Houston on Tuesday, but unfortunately there was a bunch of rain out. All games for the rest of the way for Bearcats softball will be aired on ESPN Plus. FIU all games in FIU and all games against Jack State, the final regular season series for Sam Houston before the Conference USA tournament up in Delaware, May 6th to May 9th. And this the Bearcats are 1 win away from getting to 30 wins on the season. It will be the first time that they've gotten to 30 wins since 2019. And of course, that 2019 team went on to win the Southland Conference tournament and go on to the Austin Regional and beat Texas in their opening game. Texas was top 5 at the time. I can't remember exactly what rank they are. But either way, this has been a very impressive season. It's not over yet. Recap real quick. At Louisiana Tech and Ruston, Sam Houston won the first one 6-1, won the second one 7-4, lost the last one 6-3. It kind of got a little out of hand late in the game. Bearcats made a bid for a comeback, but it fell short. La Tech also just packed on some runs late in that game. Big news: Amy Apke made her first appearance in almost quite some time. I can't remember the exact time she was out, but against Louisiana Tech on Saturday, in that 7-4 win against the Bulldogs. I'm waiting for this box score to come out. Let's see. Bingo. She went 1 2/3 innings, gave up 3 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned 3 walks, only struck out 1 batter, and also hit a batter on 46 pitches total. Bubella had to come in that second inning and get an out. She got a ground ball out. Kendall Daniel, she finished the rest of the way, 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 run earned, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts on 82 pitches. She was the one that got the win. The Bearcats offense was pretty good this series. Louisiana Tech is not that bad of a team, but it's also on the road, so you kind of it's gonna be tough either way. Bulldogs defense was not that good. Whose defense was pretty good though? Low key player of the week of that weekend for Sam Houston was Morgan Holiday at short. I got to give her a massive shout out because the Louisiana Tech slap hitters were going after her constantly all weekend, and I cannot specifically remember a bad play by her at shortstop. She knew in her mind that, hey, I have to get to the ball quickly. I have to have a good exchange, clean, throw it quickly, and trust Harrison at first base. And she was masterful at shortstop this weekend. And she if I remember correctly, she had some rough times at short early in the season, but she has progressively gotten better. And this past weekend really solidified that, hey, we're all good at short. She got going hitting wise late in the year last year, so maybe it'll be kind of a late bloomer situation when it comes to the bat. But all in all, got to give a massive shout out to Morgan Holiday. Sophia Lundstrom finally hitting her first dinger of her collegiate career. She's been close so many times. She has sneaky power, quick hands, but she's come so close, but she finally got one. So good for her. She has been amazing. She's been having one of the best seasons that the program, in my perspective, has ever seen, especially for a freshman, keeping that 400 batting average for damn near all year. I think she was batting 500 for a good bit at some point, especially at the beginning of the year. Of course, sample sizes and all of that great stuff. Harrison hit another homer. She's still keeping it going, keep on rolling and rolling. Um, but the big question heading into the late stages of the regular season, and like I said, uh, Bearcats are in good position to head to the Conference USA tournament. They currently sit at fifth place, one game behind Delaware for that fourth spot. Top 8 teams make it. Below them is a 13-8 New Mexico State, 11-10 FIU, and a 9-12 Louisiana Tech. So FIU, who the Bearcats are going to be facing on the road, is sitting at 2 games behind them, 3 games behind them rather. I don't know how that exactly worked, but for that, in this on the standings. So this is another big series late in the year that they need to take care of before they face Jack State for the last series of the regular season. And Jack State, you thought Jack State has been good in baseball. They've been pretty damn good in all of their diamond sports. Softball for them is 37-12, 19-2 in Conference USA play. They've won 8 games in a row. They've won 9 of their last 10. They've been absolutely amazing. Delaware has also been on the heater. They've won 11 in a row. So Bearcats got to take care of business this weekend. They got to take this series against the Panthers. But what I was going to get to is if they do make it and all that, and then these last 2 weekends, the biggest question mark is going to be the pitching staff. How is that going to come fold? Of course, Tiffany Sanchez, we don't have to question her whatsoever. Kendall Daniel, albeit looks good for a couple starts and probably has that one start where it's uncharacteristic, but I have enough trust in her. It's just, how far along are Abigail Young and Amy Abke when it comes to coming back from injury? Abigail Young struggled a bit against Louisiana Tech. Amy Abke, as I just showed you, struggled against Louisiana Tech. Those two are going to be a big factor heading into these last few weeks of the season and hopefully a Conference USA tournament, because you have to do good in the circle if you want to win in this league. The pitching in this league is really good. That was kind of like it's a big jump from Southland to WAC, and then boom, Conference USA. Like that jump to Conference USA, like the pitching overall, like it is overall much better than those last 2 leagues that the Bearcats have been in. And the hitting, I think the offense will be just fine. Of course, I am looking at to see, I wonder how the bottom of the order is going to be doing, because I think that's the big question. But I'm not really too worried about the offense. The pitching is in my mind going to be the one where I'm going to be keeping my eye on. I'm a very big advocate for pitching. Like, I'm more of a pitcher guy than a hitting. Like, I prefer my team to have really damn good pitching than really damn good hitting. I mean, of course, why not have both? But pitching, in my mind, wins you games, and it'll be interesting to see where that goes for softball. Again, they have a 3-game series against FIU this weekend. They got to take it, in my mind. All right, when we come back, I'll talk about Giving Day. Big day for Sam Houston. Get to that next. All right, final segment of Sam Houston SportsTalk Pod 92 comes your way. Wanted to talk really quickly. I totally forgot this happened, but Sam Houston Giving Day happened over these past couple of days. $564,375 was raised overall on 870 gifts, and athletics raised $163,959 on 262 gifts. Really a success when you look at the previous last couple of years for Giving Day. Had the numbers right here. Let me make sure I got it. Let's see. Oh, where is it? I know I posted it somewhere over the rain. Okay, there it goes. 2024 total 238,757. Athletics got $61,295. 2025 was $308,000, a little over that for the whole thing. Athletics got it was a dip for athletics, $54,468, and it went up and it almost it basically tripled from last year for athletics and nearly tripled for the total as the total as for athletics, like I said, $163,959. Previous year was $54,468. So a very big success, over $110,000 more than last year. I'm pretty sure a lot of it was for Bearcat football college education with the Williams and Stone endowment that was put down of $100,000. I wonder how much that got split, maybe right down the middle, 50-50. When it comes to the athletics leaderboard that they run here, men's basketball in Richmond got the most at $18,275. But overall, looks like it was a pretty good success. Um, Basketball reminds me, by the way, that when the transfer portal class gets done, once there is clear indication that Sam Houston men's basketball is done with their recruiting for the portal class, that's when I will start talking about it. And same thing for women's basketball as well. Last things last, ended on a good note. Tyler Davis, who played for Sam Houston baseball for some time, he just got the call up by the White Sox to be in the bullpen for the big league team. He had a season-ending injury in 2022, a pitching injury, before he eventually became the team's full-time first baseman in 2023, a main catalyst for that team that went on to become WAC champions and win a game in the Baton Rouge Regional. Tyler Davis, congratulations. And that is another Bearcat that is going to make his eventual major league debut. And I mean, you look at these numbers real quick over his career. In 2023, he hit 423 with a 491 on base percentage and a 621 slugging percentage. That is an over 1100 OPS with 21 doubles, 4 triples, 7 home runs, 60 runs batted in, 32 walks to 31 strikeouts. Also stole 14 bags. It is one of the most impressive hitting seasons that Sam Houston baseball has seen. And he throws mid 90s with good stuff. He hard throwing righty. Personally didn't get to see him pitch a lot since I came in 2022, and that's when he suffered the injury, but was able to watch him do his thing at the plate in 2023. Very happy for Davis. And again, another Bearcat has made it to the major leagues. That'll do it for us. I'm Colin Neal, Sammy Sports Talk. Check you next time.